What I was able to open was a portal to the elemental plane of fire, which also came in very handy for powering everything. With the portal to the elemental plane of fire, with the power of combustion, I had an unlimited energy supply.
That sounds like the elemental plane of explosions.
Oh.
Could we point it up? I'm saying that out loud.
You want to point the portal up?
There's a large boat full of very bad people above. And if you were thinking about making dangerous things that are marketable, this might be the perfect case study to prove that your theory works.
Yeah, they kind of want to take your inventions, whereas we want to like have a partnership where we both profit,
And possibly you're on life.
Yes.
Bad guys, huh? Well, that sounds like a good reason to test my new prototype. And he cranks his seat over, and one of these sheet-covered experiments he pulls down. It is like a 6.5-foot suit of plate mail armor that's completely ornamented with all these gearworks and mechanical devices. There's some sort of like cone-shaped device over one arm. The helmet is just like a sheet of glass.
Is it Big Daddy?
No, not necessarily.
It's one of those old-fashioned diving outfits, those big metal helmeted.
Looks kind of similar to that. He's like, this is my prototype powered armor.
Nice.
It's a
Yes.
fucking Iron Man suit.
Nice.
Yes.
Nice.
Do what?
I've been looking for an excuse to test drive it.
Well, we brought a test pilot. Go ahead.
Well, he said he wanted to drive. I mean, I'll drive if he was willing to let me.
He said, I've been looking for a test pilot.
Oh.
Yeah, he made it 6'6".
I mean, I the other thing I've been working on is body modifications. All these are body modifications. It's how I've lasted so long. That and I put my brain into the astral plane whenever I go to sleep. It helps.
Don't look a day over 150.
I do know
That's
piercings are quite in right now.
My brain goes to the astral plane when I sleep.
Does it really? That's fascinating.
Yes,
Well,
let's
you guys know who he
put the big man in the suit and send him up to punch a big hole through the other bad ship. Just straight through it. Big Star Wars, the second one, light speed through the ship mode.
First off, that wasn't the second one.
No, the second...
That was the shitty one.
The post-quals.
It was so bad it made episode 1 look better by comparison.
Are you donning the powered armor?
I will don the shit out of it. Hi, Don.
How much damage does he take?
All of it. He does.
This is a successful mission. I can't kill him. I've been trying to do that the whole game.
This is where you guys are all like, I was secretly Chimera Enterprises. Oh, so was I. Fuck!
Alright, so the top thing is a polymorph blade. You can ignore that. Everything after that is power armor.
Tyrannosaurus.
And we're going to give him a moment to review the options on the new car.
So did while he's doing that, so did the whole ooze covering this area, is that from opening the portal to hell by mistake, or is that something else?
No, after I perfected the portal to hell, it was a simple matter to recalculate for a portal to the abyss. I just found all these damn cultists in their Medusa to be a hassle while I was trying to work.
Oh,
Cultists.
it's a shield.
Called
They're clever. It's a clever tactic to.
Well, I needed peace and quiet, and I needed to keep some of my more cautious inventions a secret.
Is there any other way in or out of here besides us taking the sub?
Well, there's portals.
Oh, that's true.
Yeah.
We can go anywhere. I just need a portal stone to open them. And that's why I've had C10 out collecting them for me.
Oh, nice. I just like to give a wink. I don't actually say we.
Yeah, I don't know.
You're engaged in conversation. You're engaged in building power armor. I'd like the two of you to make a perception roll.
Don't like that.
Ooh, I don't like that. 12.
$17?
17. All right. You notice more because you have like maybe a psychic tug in that direction that Gearbox has sort of faded into the background of this conversation, where normally you'd expect him to be over the moon with all the inventions he's finding. You've pulled the sheet off of one of these inventions and found the power armor. He is peeking under the sheet in another corner. And there is a moment of looking under the sheet and him looking at Kwalish. And like now everybody's sort of looking because you're looking and they're like, what are you looking at?
And I go, Gearbox, what are you looking at?
What's in your mouth?
Drop it.
And he just looks at Kwalish and says, you fixed her. I didn't know you could fix her. And Kwalish looks and he goes, She's not fixed. She doesn't have her brain anymore. She died a long time ago, Gearbox.
Oh my god, we're gonna cry for a
I
robot.
walk over to whatever it is and I pull the sheet down.
Underneath the sheet it looks like the same technology as a brain in the jar. It's a crystalline jar sealed at the top and bottom with copper, filled with a fluid. And inside the fluid, kind of like the Bacta tank from Star Wars, is the floating body of a very aged-looking Githyanki.
Oh.
I place my hand on the brain in the jar in my pocket and I go, does this feel familiar to you?
It does. I lived there once.
Brain. I have her. I turn to your person. I have her. She's here. How do we fix her?
Are you saying this to Kwalish?
Yeah, I'm
All
saying
right.
this out loud to everybody.
Kwalish,
Negotiating here.
Shut up, you fucking corporate tool!
That was the only correct answer. That was the only correct answer.
Kwalish's mechanical eyes go wide for a second, and then they narrow again, and he says, I don't know. I want to fix her. I miss her so much, but I'm afraid of what happens when she comes back. They're still looking for her.
Who?
The Githyanki, Hell, all of them.
Why?
That's Gith. The Gith.
Even I know what that means. And I'm a stupid corporate shill. I saw the brochure in the hotel lobby.
I will allow anybody who is trained in history or religion to roll on this.
That is not me, but I know what it means out of character.
No
No.
proficiencies in that, no.
Oh, you said proficient. I don't think I'm proficient.
I'll let you roll untrained. You guys are living in a world where Gith are around.
Natural one, I fucking know nothing.
Too flabbergasted by your brain
19.
jar.
Okay, all right.
Birds heard things.
Maybe it's because you have been surrounded by death. Maybe it's because Kenku and secrets sort of go hand in hand. But this is one of those secrets that everybody talks about, but nobody talks about.
Like the back door.
Like butt stuff. And I will tell you, out of character and in character, when the Githyanki were first made, they were slaves to mind flayers. They rose up, they overthrew their mental chains and became powerful telepaths in their own right. Defeated the mind flayers, won their freedom, and then there was a schism within the Gith people. Those that became Githyanki were very warlike. They moved to the astral plane. They're the ones they're the bad guys that you see around, and they're raiding, and they're doing all sorts of horrible shit.
Chimera.
Yeah.
The Githzerai were the ones who became monks. They moved to the elemental plane of chaos where they could not be located by the Githyanki. The main difference between the two is the Githyanki basically want to kill anybody who's not Gith. The Githzerai don't. They're the good guys. They really only want to kill mind flayers and Githyanki. The whole race is named after Gith. Gith and her close associate Vlakith traveled to Hell to sign a pact with the devils to gain more soldiers for their fight. Vlakith returned, Gith never came back, and nobody knows what happened to Gith. That was thousands of years ago.
It's my gift in a jar.
She's gifted.
It's Githmas!
I take the brain in the jar and I hold it out to Kwalish and I go, put your hand on the jar. Put your hand on the jar.
And he extends his metal claw hand and tinks against the side of the jar.
Does that do anything?
It does to him.
Okay.
Whether he's communicating psychically or not, you can't tell, but obviously this act is weighing heavily on his heart. And somebody make a persuasion or a charisma roll towards him.
Oh, come on, fucking dice. I have one more sorcery
Take
point.
guidance.
Is that 4? It's a 4, right? Yeah.
You know what? And
Bardic
Garrett, yeah,
inspiration.
Garrett will be like, we need to.
I'm just
know.
gonna roll it now.
Yeah.
I'm not even gonna fucking think about it. Okay, so that's gonna be 20 plus 8, 28.
28 is huge. And Kwalish will.
It's probably the only heartfelt thing that Gavin has ever asked anybody is to help this poor woman. Otherwise, it's like the only time he's actually trying to like do something like decent instead of just trying to fuck somebody over with corporate speak.
Well, yeah, it's the charity drive at the
there you
corporate
go.
Christmas party. Where it's like, we can be
God,
nice once.
The tax deduction we'll get for bringing her back.
So Kwalish thinks for a moment and he goes, we met by accident. I never meant to travel through hell. I just found her there and I couldn't leave her. She came back with me and we traveled for a while and she's the only person I've ever loved. And it killed me to take her head out, to take her brain out of her head. But it was the only way to keep her safe. She made me do it. Ever since then, if you try to find her, the secret is too dark. It's hurt people. I'm sick of the good people getting hurt. That's why I came down here. I couldn't do it anymore. I could put her back together, but it's going to start something bad.
Something portals?
Have you ever considered building a construct and putting her in a construct?
And he sort of looks at the power armor. I've been working on constructs down here my whole life. Constructs and portals. Ways to get home and ways to make home safe.
So you never had luck to an extent that I'm asking, which is, could you put a brain in a construct and have her eat herself?
And at this point, Gearbox finally pipes up. Kwalish, that was what you were ordered to do by the Primus. When you swore your oath, you said you would make her a new body. And he thinks for a moment and he goes, this is as close as I've ever got. This is the best invention I could make, and it will satisfy my agreement with the Primus, but to put her in it would be a disservice. We can unite her body and her mind, and she can be like she was.
But then that I guess if that's the thing that causes the war that you're foreseeing by doing that, that's why I'm suggesting put her on something different so that she can still exist, but maybe she's not necessarily united. I mean, obviously it's her choice, but I'm just throwing that out there as a...
That was the idea. That's why I put her brain in one place, her body in another. It separated her being enough that she couldn't be tracked through divination magic. It's up to her. It's up to you. My time here is almost done. The Primus gave me 10 marches. This is my 10th march. I'm afraid wherever you're going, I'm not going to see it for very long.
It's like a cat with 9 lives.
Ask her.
Do you want to go back? I put my hands on the jar and I'm like holding it very closely and intimately. Like, do you want to go back? Is this okay? Are you okay with this?
This is what I was afraid of. I am so scared to face the consequences of my actions. The horrible things I did in my past life, and the horrible things my people now do in my name. But it's unfinished business. I need to see Vlakith one more time.
He's the Githyanki big bad.
She's the Grand Lich of the Githyanki.
Not cool. Sorry.
We could always hire you a social media consultant, and we could put you on all these tours on, like, you could be on The View, and you could do a public apology tour, and everybody will forget all of it the minute you come out with the next hot show. I've seen it happen with celebrities all the time.
we can open portals. What if you went to the plane of chaos with the rest of the Gith? Would that do anything? Would that help at all? Would that temporarily bide you enough time to prepare for the inevitable conflict between you and Blacketh?
Yes, I must make amends with both of my scattered peoples. And if I am going to finally give Blacketh the death that she deserves, I'll need an army.
And I turn and I say, it sounds like you want to wage war on the undead. And I slide the visor down the power armor.
It looks like you're trying to wage war on the undead. Would you like some help with that?
I slide the visor down for the face mask, and it's like dark sunglasses, and I say, I know a guy. Woo!
Blackus says,
Whoa!
My bad. And Gith thinks for a moment and says, this will be the last war. The last war for me. Maybe the last war for my people. I loathe to fight it, but I'm anxious to have it behind me. Let's not waste another day. I've wasted far too much time sitting in a storage room on that godforsaken monastery.
And Snatcher will reach out and put their hand on the brain jar, and in a very quiet, calm voice that you've not heard Snatcher use before, they will say, "You deserve last rites."
Thank you. That's more kindness than I deserve. Kwalish put me back in. And Kwalish says, of course, my love.
One last time.
Oh, God.
He clears his throat, shakes off the emotion. The operation will take some time. I'll need to be unaccosted. Your friend's upstairs. Think that armor will help?
It'll help. I sort of look it over and I think, it's pretty great armor. But one of you might benefit from this armor better than I would.
Would you like to give them the brief synopsis of what it does?
Well, you wear this armor, you gain the following bonuses. You get a +1 bonus to armor class. Your strength score becomes 18, unless your strength score is already higher. You gain advantage on death saving throws. Further, you have the ability to expend energy cells or your own life force to power the following effects. You can emit a force field to gain 2d6 plus 5 temporary hit points. These are all bonuses, by the way. Activate boosters to gain a flying speed of 15 feet for the next minute. You can fire an arm-mounted laser as a bonus action, +8 to hit with a range of 120 feet, does 2d6 radiant damage. You can translate any writing that you can see for up to 1 minute for up to 1,000 words. You can fill the armor with air, which allows you to breathe normally in any environment for up to 1 hour. And you can gain dark vision up to 60 feet for up to 1 hour. Bonus action lasers.
Also, I will steal this from you for a second. There are some optional rules that appear here that I will say also work. There are automatic defenses. If you don't want to pilot the armor, it will stay stationary, but it will act as a shield guardian and will cast magic missiles using a 4th level spell slot to defend itself.
That's pretty good.
I'll let Ben read over this, but just quickly, the Battle of Wills will only come up if somebody tries to forcefully remove you from the armor, which can happen. Mm-hmm. Yeah, and you can use the disposable energy cells that you looted from the monastery to fuel it, or you can use your own hit points.
Yes. I will ride it if nobody else wishes to, but I thought I'd offer it up since a lot of these are redundant with what I do. You could shoot lasers that cause sneak attack damage.
And the lasers are a bonus action, so you can still use your attack action to attack. As you were trying to find your way underneath, you found the apparatus of Kwalish XL. That holds 10 humanoids. While you were trying to loose it from its moorings, the ship appeared overhead, the airship that Chimera Enterprises is using for loss prevention purposes. And it started raining fire down on the city. You made your escape through the ooze, found Kwalish, determined that Kwalish had lived an extraordinarily long life, presumably by context by making a deal with the Primus. and had spent his life inventing and creating ways to bring back Gith, the original namesake of the Gith races. You had her brain from a previous run-in at the cathedral, and she convinced Kwalish to reunite brain and body in a surgery that is going to take some time, and he needs you guys to hold off the Chimera Enterprises forces while this is being done. And that's where we broke. You guys were starting to brainstorm different ways you could go about, because the problem now is that, you have a submarine to traverse the ooze, but they have an airship to fly above it, and you need to find some way to either bring them to you or bring you to them.
We have a Hulk
We have a
busting
whole
suit of armor.
Yes, and that was the other thing. Kwalish had, he's been working on biomechanical engineering, and one of the things he had, per the module, amazingly enough, is a suit of Iron Man armor, more or less. And currently, Goodbrand is going to tote that to battle.
I have it, but I would strongly volunteer it to anybody else who's interested, because it's actually redundant with a lot of the shit I do naturally.
Well, I was going to suggest that if we really wanted to delay these guys from coming down, then we just do what all of American healthcare does and just prevent them with a fuck ton of forms. And it'll be hours before they reach the operating room.
But this is loss prevention. They also have paperwork.
We can duel. We can have dual paperwork. Sorry, that's not
Their shrinkage is better than your shrinkage.
Gavin is proficient in paperwork.
Also, we're like a bum little startup company, and they are a gigantic mega corporation.
Well, we're really
You're like
running
Planet
this
Express
corporate
versus
show, aren't
MomCorp.
Oh, cool. So we
Yeah.
have bureaucracy on our side.
Yeah, yes, you are on our side. That's right.
You are the one corporate lawyer to their team of corporate lawyers, and they all have more expensive suits than you.
Yeah.
And you didn't even graduate lawyer. You didn't even pass the bar. You're just like
I'm not a
interning.
lawyer. Shit, no. I went to State University and I'm still working on my BA. All right. So what does this suit do? Is it? I'm just wondering who can.
Do you have a
can take
module
advantage
that you
of
brought
it.
with you for no reason?
I tore it off and handed it to you.
Fucking A.
I'm
At
just
the
wondering
city
who
of
can
Dynagina.
take advantage of it the most here.
So
If it's
it
not good for
can
you.
it can fill with air. It can give you air, breathable air. It can shoot lasers up to 120 feet. It's a +8 attack for 2d6 radiant damage. It grants dark vision if you don't already have it. It translates foreign languages and foreign text. As a bonus action, you can get 2d6 plus 5 temporary hit points. And boosters allow you to fly at a speed of 15 for 1 minute. There's charges for all that shit, but we're only fighting one combat with it, so I'm guessing we're not going to get anywhere near the number of charges. And that's all I wrote down.
Yeah, unfortunately, I'm almost positive I tore that sheet off and gave it to you. You sure you didn't bring it home with you?
I have one sheet in my book, and it's my character sheet.
Well, that is a bummer. It may still be sitting on my kitchen table.
Probably okay. The other thing it does is add 1 to your AC.
We can just make up shit as we go. We'll be like, this sounds cool.
It's all cool. It's all cool.
Does it
Actually,
require a
make
certain
people like
proficiency
me.
or a certain class or a certain?
Well,
anything?
it's heavy armor, so
Ooh.
yeah. I think that's why you ended up with it, because you're the only one proficient in heavy armor.
Oh, okay. Then I guess
Yeah.
I'm still wearing it. Fair enough. Then my average notes will do. So that means you guys have access to the sub. I can just fly up there. We could go to them.
Let's take the fight to them.
I feel like that's the move.
There was also some talk, just to remind you of a conversation you did have at the table, of opening a hellgate to basically just launch a fireball in their general direction.
Oh, yeah.
I thought that would be hilarious. I think it would be ill-advised, but hilarious.
Is that a you can certainly try moment?
Yeah.
Okay.
Ooh. What about if we opened up a portal to the elemental plane of water and just dumped 1 million gallons of water on their boat? That might drive them back down here into the ooze, and we can fight them in the ooze. And we have the ooze
Or
advantage.
the elemental plane of Earth and drop
We
a
have
shit more
ooze
rocks on it.
Also cool. Yeah, if we can open it, if we can use what we have to open a portal above them and just drop a shit ton of something heavy on the boat to force it down into the ooze, I think once it's stuck in the ooze, it's not getting back out. That's a lot of suction in a big item.
Okay. Let's open a portal to the plane of dummy thick booty and just drop it on the
Why is it the first time I'm hearing about this plane?
Oh, sorry.
It's
We forgot
invitable.
to add you that group chat.
Yeah, please add me.
You don't have enough Reddit upvotes to see it.
You don't know how many Reddit upvotes I have.
It's probably like 2.
I have a lot of comment upvotes. But
I think it's a. I mean, like I both think like in terms of effectiveness of getting them to us and just like sheer hilarity. That's kind of the move.
I think I like that idea.
so there is one hitch in the giddy up here. First of all, if you're having this conversation in front of Kwalish, he'll give you the lowdown on what can and can't be done vis-a-vis portals.
Yep.
Because this is still a technology you're not 100% familiar with, but he has a great deal of knowledge about. He can rig Satenmir's coffin to open and activate a portal so that he can be focused on what he's doing, and Satenmir will go with you to open the portal. The problem is, it's not something that he can conjure 100 feet in the air. He will open it at his feet. You know, it's kind of we set it up here.
So if we can get Satenmir above their ship without being shot.
Yes, he would need a round to activate the portal. So, like, presumably he can't do it while free falling, but if somebody were able to give him a fly speed or something like that, he could presumably open it in midair.
Okay, do you, Gavin, have the ability to cast invisibility?
I do have the ability to cast invisibility.
Would you like to cast invisibility?
That's a sentence that should not be said by anybody.
Would you like to cast invisibility on me and Satenmir, and I will activate the suit and fly over their heads and hold him like a baby while he shits out a portal to the elemental plane of water?
How can I? It's so adorable. How can I not?
Would water be bad for our ooze plant? Or would it be better to do rocks?
Look
and
who is
just
talking. I don't know.
Get out.
Okay, fine. I'll see you guys next week. I don't know. I don't know how much earth is going to come through the portal, because if it's stone,
Yeah.
it's not going to shear.
Yeah.
But the water, at least, will drive it downward, which is what we really want. If it gets stuck in the ooze, awesome. If it washes all the ooze away, whatever.
Presumably, the ooze is heavier than water, meaning the water will pool on top of it.
Cool,
Okay.
even better.
Like that science experiment we did in 6th grade.
We've got a suit that breathes underwater, and we have a device that sees 10 that breathes underwater, and it's got big crab claws on it. So I feel like this is win-win.
I cast invisibility on him, and what's his name?
Satenmir.
C10. We call him C10.
That guy.
We actually killed him. He's from Plume of the White Mountain.
Oh.
Yeah.
Is he really? Oh, he's that fucking guy!
Yeah, remember I opened the coffin in the dark room and he ate my face?
Yeah, he dump trucked us.
Yeah.
It was like the worst encounter of the entire game.
It sucked. But yeah, they reused the NPC.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah.
Alright. Let's party.
Naked?
Like it's $14.99.
Alright, so you're invisible. What else are you doing?
I'm grabbing Satenmir and activating the jets on this armoire.
Okay. So, as you're getting used to the armor, there's a bit of sputtering and coughing as the arcane jets sort of fire up, and you're starting to slowly lift off the ground. Just for chuckles, give me a strength check. You can lift Satenmir without a problem, but lifting him gracefully is another story.
Do you want athletics or straight up strength?
Athletics is appropriate here.
Just imagining the scene from the first
26.
Iron Man movie before he gets the hands.
Very
together.
similar.
Just-
Very similar, yeah.
26 to carry this.
26,
robot.
okay, then yeah, without a problem. And that would be the problem is, aerodynamics is already something you're only vaguely familiar with your natural flying ability. Now you're adding heavy armor plus carrying a big heavy coffin. So you're able to, through brute strength, just sort of keep everything going in the right direction.
An upward yeet.
Yes.
And then in the perpetual belly flop motion, holding the coffin pointed down,
Mm-hmm.
fire it up.
All right. So you find yourself over the. So let's see. Invisibility. They can't detect you by sight, right? But they can still hear you.
They can still hear, yes.
Okay. The jets, for all intents and purposes, do make a fair amount of noise. I'll allow you to make a stealth check, I guess, against their group perception roll.
Sounds good.
How far away are they from where we are?
Well, I mean, they're hovering over the city, over this flat, and you're down. You were starting this adventure down in the sewers, so a very far distance away from you. But you can fly with your fly speed. As I think there's no time limit on your fly, right?
It's 1 minute, but you spend a charge to do it. I think it came with like 30 charges.
Yeah, something like that. And you can also sacrifice hit points to recharge it. I remember that aspect.
I got a whole vampire full of them. So.
Yeah. So as high above them as you want to be, I guess. They're still going to get a chance to hear you just because that's only fair.
Yeah.
What did you get?
A 9.
All right. So as you're flying, how close do you want to get to the ship?
I want to be like 100 feet over it.
Okay. So as you're going by, you start to see the ship, which was just sort of listing aimlessly, is now veering away from you. You don't know if that means they heard you or not, but you see like scurrying forms on the deck. You see what can only be the slaughter on the deck giving orders. It's the big black bulbous toad-shaped form wearing a nice three-piece pinstripe suit, giving orders to his gift minions, and they start steering the ship away from you. What are you guys doing in the meantime while he's executing Plan Fire Extinguisher?
Playing Go Fish.
With my
Doc.
forgot the cards.
Oh, you forgot the cards.
This is not going to be the situation for the cards,
That's
so
fair.
the cards will happen
That's
another
fair.
time.
Mary can come back in a future adventure.
Oh, Mary will come back.
Mary will return in. Spelljammer 2.
The two inning.
Spell to jam.
Spelljam.
Nice.
Gotta see Doctor, can't jam.
Tokyo Piss.
Oh,
Very well done.
I
Bravo.
suppose we're manning the crowd.
We're just Helen, no?
yeah, we've got the little.
Okay, so the apparatus of Kwalish, Gavin and Gwavin. Gwavin are there too.
Gavin.
Gwavin in the Kwalish.
We all went there.
Hello.
Hello, my name is Gwavin.
Gwevin. Ooh.
Nice. Didn't we all go? I thought we all went.
Well, I mean, you all can't fly with him.
Yeah.
Unless you can fly.
No, but I thought we all went into the apparatus.
Okay,
That's
yeah,
what we
that's
did.
fair. Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
And what is your plan in the apparatus? What was, he's going to dump water on it, then what?
Hiding from this bit. No, I'm kidding.
Well, is it possible that we can claw onto the thing and pull it underwater? Because we're under the jelly, right?
Yeah.
Can we go up and then yank it down?
So you want
I mean,
you want to play Jaws?
Big shift.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But worst case scenario, they bring you with them, right?
Yeah.
Well, if we poke a
Can
hole in
we-
the bottom of it, that means slime comes in when they hit it.
Oh!
Yeah.
Or we can
That's
Titanic that bitch.
I love that idea.
Well,
I love
okay,
that
so
idea.
slime won't flow into the ship because the slime is heavier than the water. So presumably, the order of operations is water falls on the ship, pools at the top of the slime. The ship will go down. It may sink if it takes enough damage. It may not if it doesn't. But if it doesn't sink, it'll be sitting on top of the water. The ooze is heavier than the water, so you need some kind of pumping action to pump it into the ship if that was your plan. It won't just flow in on its own,
At a minimum, we'll fill the ship with water.
which will make the ship render the ship useless.
At a minimum.
Great. Yeah, let's Titanic this bitch.
Okay.
I like that.
So the plan is for you to dump water on the ship, and then the apparatus pokes a hole in it and makes it not a ship, just wreckage.
Yes.
Good plan. Okay, then what we're going to do is we're going to make this a skill challenge. C10 and Goodbrand are traveling. You're out of communication range, right? So there's no talking between these two halves of the table. But we're going to go around the table as many times as it takes to get three successes before 3 failures, and just free ball it. Let me know what you're doing. We'll start with you. Already did something. I want to get these guys involved.
Yeah, I did the other.
So you're all 3 in the apparatus. You're all 3 in the ooze. So you can't get out freely unless you surface. But there's still things you can do to help. Be creative with it. We'll just start with Kaylee. Go around the table.
I am going to. I'm going to use Streetwise and sort of see where it's going and how we can sort of use the streets to get there. Because we're sort of.
Streetwise is more of a social skill. I'm going to say that's not going to help you as you're describing.
Didn't read the parentheses. Okay, then. I don't have any. I'm not good at things.
They roll around to not do things.
History?
Okay, how are you using history?
I think navigation, basically.
Okay, all right. I will allow you to see, you've been through the city, so you know.
As it stands,
You know
I don't
where.
remember shit.
Okay, that's a failure. So we're on 1 failure. Kate, what is Mary doing to help the situation?
Mary is investigating the ship for further things that it can do to like damage, like, you know, is there
Bad rivets and stuff
yeah,
like
well, like is like inside the slime marine, that's what it's called now.
Yes, yeah.
Inside the slime marine, like, you know, like what, you know, like with the pinchers, are there any extra like things or anything like that, or like what's the most effective way for us to use this machine to damage the ship?
Okay. What skill are you rolling for that?
Investigation?
Yeah, okay, that's fair.
That's a 16.
Total?
Oh, no, 22.
22, alright.
much better.
I forgot how to play D&D.
That is a success. Basically, you don't find anything new, but you do get a much clearer understanding of how these pinchers work, and you feel like if given the opportunity, you will be able to successfully use them. Zoidberg styles. Gavin, how are you helping this situation?
So this might be a little stretch of this ability,
Okay.
but we've encountered these people before. We kind of at least
You know,
understand
yeah,
their
gift,
organization.
slot, airships, you've pretty much seen all this before. Accountants, yeah, bureaucrats.
Oh God.
Yeah.
So
Corporate asswipes you're familiar with.
Vincent Fisk looking motherfuckers.
So this might be a stretch of the skill, but I want to use insight to try to figure out, okay, this type of people in this situation would react in this manner. This is their standard way of reacting to something, and try to use that to our advantage to do it in a different way that would surprise them or make their reaction make it actually worse for them.
You've read their employee handbook.
You've read the employee handbook, or you know
You
they...
know all the emergency exits.
Right.
And
You know they always signal with their hands, so you break their arm off. Maybe that was a little dark. I don't know. I got some weird looks.
Oh, it's gonna get darker. Just bring it on. What skill?
Insight was the
Insight. Okay, go ahead and give me a roll.
25.
That's
Woo!
success. 2 successes, 1 failure.
Yeah,
And
get
it's
all the
3
good
before
rolls out
3?
now.
Yeah,
Two,
when
three.
combat happens, that's
So
twos.
it's all up to good. It's all to good, Brandon. Almost appropriately enough.
Okay, so I'm going to guidance myself.
Okay, that's fair.
But I am getting the feeling that because my suit moves so slowly and the ship is a full-on ship, it's going much faster than I am.
Mhm.
And navigating around it is a challenge, even when I get far enough away from them that they can't hear me anymore.
Mm-hmm.
And so I've decided that there's no way I'm going to be able to go with the plan where I shoot straight down onto the deck of the ship. We're going to have to arc it.
Okay.
And so I'm holding the coffin up like I'm going to try and aim a fire hose. And I'm using my perception to see what part of the deck the water will pull the most heavy so I can aim at the appropriate embankment.
Now, just to you guys have a scale of how this is going. Like, you are literally watching a ship floating through a slime barrier above you over a nighttime sky, and it is just a black silhouette moving above the clouds, and he is just a distant roar that you can't even see because he's still invisible, but you could just hear him tacking his engines every so often to try and bring himself about. And you're looking 100 feet down, a full football field down, trying to arc this fire hose of water coming from the elemental plane of water.
Give me that sexy parabola.
Yeah, and hit it.
That's probably going to be pretty good. 21.
21 is a success. So.
It's like writing your name in the snow.
It comes naturally.
So the invisibility drops as soon as the portal is open. C10 does whatever mechanical things and makes mechanical noises that makes the portal happen. And basically, it's one of these baubles with a ring of clockwork little armatures around it that all expand all at once. The portal apparates into being, and then this just gush of water comes out, thousands of gallons a minute. Hits square on the ship and starts immediately flooding over the decks onto the slime barrier. Some of these Gith go tumbling over. Ah! Wilhelm scream all the way down to the ooze, where they're dissolved alive by the ooze. And the ship begins to plummet down, and you have to start piloting the ship to meet it where it's going to start making land.
Making slime.
Making slime. You're almost impressed by how fast water is beginning to fill up the rest of this bowl-shaped crater that the city is in.
Oh no.
You're in a submarine, you're fine.
Yeah, we're fine. Okay, we're in a submarine. It's fine. It's fine. It's really fine.
So, Mary, you're operating the claws. Give
Shit,
me a straight attack roll. Just make it a melee attack without proficiency.
Okay. It's an 8.
All right. the prow of the ship comes down as they try to pilot into a gentle landing on the surface of the slime. The prow sort of digs into the slime a little bit, and you have your chance to grab at the prow as it goes by, but you whiff, and the ship begins to right itself on the slime. It doesn't appear that the slime is eating away the ship itself, but you notice long structural cracks appearing from where the ship has crash landed, and it's not sort of sliding around the surface as much as it is to start to slowly, like, belly down into it.
What if we... Is
Just
there
leave
any
and go
way
home.
we can freaking, like, the Underminer, like, drive the submarine through the bottom of the ship and enter through the bottom?
Yeah, I don't see why not.
Penetrate the bottom.
Penetrate the bottom!
Into the plane of
Hey,
tummy thick
we've
booty.
got, we've got plenty of slime. It's all good.
Oh my
Just
god.
like, it's just like they told
We're
us
gonna be
about.
appropriately
Wow.
lubricated.
It's
for
like
this
sneezing in a
journey.
bubble. It's like a balloon. It's something bad happens.
All right, is that the plan?
Once it's obvious that ship is not coming back up, I'm going to tell C10 to cut the water.
Okay. Well, it is. You can't wait too long because just because the ship has suffered some damage does not mean it's going to try and not get airborne again. That is presumably what might happen. So why don't we do this? Why don't we just get on initiative order now, and we'll just go from there. And I'm just going to
Sorry. Oh,
That's 18 times my average.
Dice are really angry at
it's
me
gonna be
today.
a 4, fam.
All right.
Gavin, you actually have advantage
I have advantage on initiatives?
because I gave you advantage last session.
Oh.
I don't remember that, but I'm going to roll with it.
I can do it as many times as I want per day, so I give it to everybody all the time.
So he rolls a 2.
So I roll a 2.
Higher than 20? 15 to 20.
18.
18 for good, man. Let's see. Bad guys going 16. 10 to 15.
I have a 12. Gavin's got a 12.
5 to 10.
7.
Snatcher with a 7. And Mary, I don't need your number, honey. I'll just put you dead last.
Thanks, man.
We're not number shaming here.
Yeah, speak for yourself.
You can do a lot with a 4. It's all about how you use it.
6.5 if you measure from the balls. That joke will never die. All right, good, Brent. You could make it. You are 100 feet up. The ship plummeted about 100 feet. I believe you have a fly speed of 80 or 40. 40. So if you moved and dashed, you could get almost halfway there.
Yeah, it sounds pretty good, except my laser shoots 120 feet.
Okay.
So I'll descend and then shoot.
Okay. You're still 200 feet away.
Oh, 200. I thought you said 150.
You were 100. You said you wanted to be 100 feet above the ship. The ship went down. It went down another 100 feet to the surface.
Perfect. Nope,
So-
that's great. Then I will move and dash as prescribed,
Okay.
and that is all I shall do in my turn.
Okay. Move and dash. So you're now 120 feet away. So you can shoot next turn, presumably.
Sounds great.
Bad guys. They haven't really figured out what's going on. They can see you, so I guess he's gonna take a shot at you.
Hopefully I'm at long range. Fingers crossed.
What is the range of fireball?
Oh! I think it is exactly 120. I think I'm going to introduce myself to them by being Fireball.
I should have brought books or done anything at all to prepare for this.
It
But I
is
didn't.
okay, don't you sweat it. 150 feet, they can
150.
definitely reach me.
All right, and I believe that's a dexterity saving throw on your behalf.
3.
I was gonna give you disadvantage on it anyway because you're carrying September.
2.
2, even better.
1!
So,
Yes, fire, lots of fire. I am officially fired.
let's see.
Wait, don't. Oh, the portal is stationary, right?
Oh, the portal is part of Sitemir. Oh, yeah, can I...
Yeah, so tell me you're
not-
holding
Fire-
water!
So the portal is self-sustaining once it opens. You can either leave it or bring it with you.
I guess we'll leave it.
It's up to you. I didn't tell you this beforehand, so I'm letting you rewrite history if you want to.
It's gonna navigate out of the path of the water.
I think it's more dramatic if we leave it there.
Okay.
All right. So it's now constantly pouring water, which is good. That's what you wanted. But that also means you're going to take 7 plus 8 is 15 plus 9 is 24 points of damage.
I
Wait,
take
that was
12.
only 66. 4 plus 9 is 33 points of damage.
I take 16.
16. As you can now see the Slaughter on deck with a wand of, presumably a wand of fireball, since he launches a fireball at you, and it explodes in your general vicinity as you start descending. So you all in the apparatus of Kwalish through the plexiglass view screen see the night sky light up as his fireball arcs off into the sky and blows up around him.
It's like Disneyland.
Except with more death.
They're greeting us with fireworks, so it's
Actually,
so
less that.
lovely.
Nobody's died yet.
Nobody's died in Disneyland. Nobody's officially died in Disneyland.
The dragon's just outside the fence.
They do exactly that. You ever wonder why Disneyland has its own fire department? Because it has paramedics that will drive them off property to die. That's literally a thing.
It's the happiest place on earth!
Nobody has ever died at Disneyland because they literally wait to pronounce them dead till they bring them to the hospital.
Gross. Okay, cool.
Yeah. So that was bad guys. Next up is Gavin.
So are
the
we,
Gavinator.
those of us inside the ship, pretty much helpless until we get on the surface to fight these guys?
Yeah, unless you can think of some creative way to help.
No. So I will basically ready in action as soon as we surface. I will shoot them with my laser halberd.
Beautiful.
It's got 100 feet range. I don't know how far away we'll be when we surface. Will we be right inside them, or we're
Presumably
penetrating
you
them?
surface
aren't
whatever the
we?
hell you want. 'Cause you're
Are we,
driving
are we
it.
like ramming up into their
Their bottom.
undergirth?
Underguts, yeah.
Right through the gooch.
All right, so I'll wait until we're in their underguts, and then I'll shoot with a laser halberd.
That's going to become a term now, isn't it? All right, Gavin with a held action, Snatcher. You're piloting this monstrosity.
Yeah, I pilot it towards the ship. I'm sort of aiming for one of the cracks in the side.
All right, I'm going to give. So this is what I'm going to do. You make a ranged attack roll. If you hit, you are not going to do damage, but you're going to give her advantage on her attack roll with the claws to do damage to the ship.
Okay.
Yeah!
Yeah. So that is with proficiency, or have
Well, do you have proficiency in any type of vehicles? Probably not.
probably not no.
No. Okay, then with no proficiency.
Okay, so just
Only
a 16.
vehicular manslaughter.
So only what?
Just a 16 then.
16.
No, plus dex.
Oh, plus dex.
Yes.
Oh,
Yes.
that makes that very different.
Yeah.
Probably closer to 20.
21.
21.
Nice.
All right. So, yeah, it's the Hoff song, the dun 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 dun.
Oh.
And you see through the view screen as she's lining it up, like there's a nice big fat crack, like not dead center,
Penetrate the crack.
just off to the right enough so that a claw would go right in there, just full fisting right into the underguts.
This ship.
And do you want to do anything else on your turn? Is there anything else you can do?
I don't think there is.
Okay. Mary, it is your turn. You may make your attack roll against the hull of the ship with advantage.
Cool.
Whoa!
What is there anything other that I need to add to the 19?
Strength or dex.
It's strength or dex because it's an attack roll.
Well, it's +1 either way, so it's a 20, not an actual 20.
Not an ultra 20. All right.
I penetrate this bitch.
I'm not gonna make you do damage. We're leaving the ship rolls for another day. Basically, the claw busts through the crack. You latch yourself onto some sort of structural beam, so that now you're holding them down, and they're trying to pilot the ship out of the slime, out of the growing pool of water, and they're being held down because the ship is lodged firmly in the slime, basically acting like a huge anchor. Gavin, you have an opening to pop the hatch and take an action if you want it.
Yeah, I'm gonna shoot something. So
Okay.
I'm gonna open the hatch, and if the first thing I see, I'm gonna shoot.
All right, it'll probably be some poor gift bastard.
All right.
Wearing a red sash.
It's my son's birthday today.
He's got balloons.
Ooh, 15.
15 for some gift bastard.
Probably hits the intern anyway.
It might hit the intern.
And if we're going to keep playing with
He
Chimera
gets
Enterprises,
vaporized
I've
and the
got to play
balloons
Penny
just
Arcade
float up
at
into
some
the
point.
sky.
What's that?
The Penny Arcade Corporations book.
Oh yeah, is that any good?
Actually, it's pretty funny,
Yeah.
it's pretty good. I would probably use some of it for spell
Okay,
check.
that's not good.
I start with G.
There they are. So what was your attack roll?
15.
15? No, unfortunately, that does not hit a Geth. So you're the tip of the spear. You bust through the hatchway, and you launch a shot that doesn't hit a guy, but it forces him to like duck down behind cover. So you're covering your friend's exit from the craft.
This is a hostile takeover.
Goodbrin. Alright, the first thing I do is I use my Channel Divinity, which allows me to give myself temporary hit points all the time. Every turn,
Yep.
which I love. Just need to check to see how often it happens. End of the turn. Cool. Perfect. Then, as a bonus action, I'm going to Healing Word myself, because I just took a bunch of damage. Spend a 3rd level slot. Plus 4 is 14 points. Healthy and spry. At the end of my turn, I get some temporary hit points, and I move closer to the ship. I get 12 temporaries. I'm healthier than I was when I started.
Alright, so you move 40 feet closer to the ship?
Yep.
So now you're 80 feet away?
Yes, and now I'm also exuding 40 feet of dim light, which doesn't do anything for their attack rolls. It just looks badass.
Yeah. Yeah, so Tenmir, he grumbles out, he's like, question. Lad, pop my latch, pop my hood, let me out of here.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, no question. Click.
Just dump a vampire on the He's a thirsty bitch.
So that'll be on your next turn. I'll give it to you as a bonus action.
Operation
on your
Draft
next
or
turn.
Drop.
It's like Dumbo Drop. Only
Always much better.
So that was good, Bryn. The bad guys go. He's got a wand of fireballs, and he's going to keep fireballing you.
Cool.
You're fired.
Come at me, bro. 17.
17. I'm going to guess that's probably enough. Let's see. I don't even know where I would look for this.
Using a wand,
Yeah.
add proficiency and whatever his spellcasting mod is. If he's a slot, I think it's probably charisma.
Okay. So we'll say, yeah, that would be like 15. So yeah, you're good.
Cool. I take half damage.
Half damage.
Well, I take quarter damage because I resist fire.
He's rolling like what? It's 4 ones in a row.
Wow!
2, 4,
1 point of damage.
13.
Ow!
2 more ones. 15 points of damage. Halved is 7.
Halved is 3. It eats 3 of my temporary hit points. I still have 9.
So it is like Iron Man just walking through a fireball.
Yep.
Completely badass. You're 80 feet away. They have laser pikes, but they are holding their shots until you get closer.
Good choice.
Gavin, it is your turn. So to give you the layout, you're in the we'll call it. It's like a 2-layer ship, an underguts and an overguts. He's assaulting the overguts. You're assaulting the underguts. You've got some Gith in front of you. Do you have a dry race?
Kaylee does. If it's a marker, she has many.
I hate to draw an attack on myself, but on their turn, did that Gith have a chance to attack me back? Or I don't know if their initiatives with the bad guys or not.
I didn't give them an attack because it's sort of tantamount to a surprise. They weren't expecting to get penetrated by apparatus
Okay.
Kwalish. Nobody is. All right, let's say it looks something like this. And this is the top deck. So here is your big crabby monster. And here is this is where the 2 masts are. It's a double-masted ship, and you're latched onto the bottom of the mast, keeping it from going anywhere. It's sort of like lilting to the side now because it's trying to fly, and you're holding it down. And there's like boxes and shitty kegs of water and like a big hammock.
Kegs of shitty water.
And Gavin shot at a guy that ducked between the hammock and the shitty kegs of water. And there may be more guys in the darkness, but until you exit the craft, you won't know what they look like.
Can we get you a handful of minis?
Just draw.
Okay.
We're winging this shit.
Sounds good.
We're going buck wild.
Scoop me towards the back of the top.
All right. We'll go over what you're looking at when you come up again. It's not going to stand. This thing's...
Yeah.
We'll figure it out.
So can I see that doofus, or
He is, he's under half cover.
under half cover? All right. So I'm going to firebolt.
All right. We'll use this.
It's going to be a 25 to hit.
25 hits. Three.
8 fire damage.
8 fire damage.
And then I am going to duck somewhere up here to get behind the claw. The claw.
The claw!
To get, cover myself.
Cover yourself, my man.
And then I'm going to bonus action math.
All right. You. How much damage was that again?
8.
8.
Pretty shitty.
All right. Yeah. Yeah. You singed the top of his funny-looking hairdo while he's ducking down behind this box. It is not a box of anything explosive. You've determined that. Because I knew it would come
Maybe I
up.
should have thought of that first.
That is Gavin's turn. You're all done, right?
Yes.
Snatcher.
Is the
Annihilate?
craft in a position where I could, pilot it backwards and sort of pull,
Like down into the slime?
weight it so the opening we made is sort of...
Yes. Okay, so this is how I'll adjudicate that. You absolutely can just, put it in reverse, put a brick on the gas pedal, and it's just going to pull constantly down into the slime. Give me... Call it a melee attack roll. So just a 20 with no proficiency and a strength or dex modifier. Probably dex.
15.
15. All right. Yeah, you basically set that up. It's going to continuously pull backwards. You don't know how that's going to turn out, but you feel like you've accomplished something. That's your action for this turn. You can still move. It's going to keep doing its thing on future turns, so you can leave the craft and it's still going to do that.
I'm gonna pop up out of the craft and hang out with Gavin, I guess. Get some cover.
Like right here.
Hey, we're Gavin, I guess.
Yeah. This claw will also grant cover if you want to duck down around that claw.
Yeah.
All right. And that's your whole turn. Right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Miss Mary,
Yes, that's me.
would you like to fuck some shit up?
Oh boy, would I.
Boy, howdy!
That's not how
Just
Irish people talk.
I don't care. I didn't ask them how they talk. Frankly, Scarlett, I don't give a damn.
Not yet. Not yet.
Sleep with my wife.
I thought meant you were usually
So
home
is
for...
this is the overguts and that's the underguts?
Yeah.
Okay, I'm going to... I have 120 feet of dark vision.
Mm-hmm.
Can I, see any bad guys other than the apparent one that, ducked behind when Gavin shot at him on his son's birthday?
like the inconsiderate prick he is.
The day of his daughter's
He's
wedding.
a corporate show.
On just the day of my daughter's wedding. Yeah, we'll say...
The laser craft.
We'll say since you're taking your time to actually look for guys, this is the stairway that goes from underguts to overguts, and there is 2 other dudes hanging out by the stairway who are just as shocked as this guy was, except he was on his way to a birthday party, so he got...
And they were interrupted while docking.
Yes, they are keen-eye interlocked.
Okay,
Not like penne interlocked, that's a pasta thing. And what would you like to do to these poor sons of bitches?
I think I'll Eldritch Blast him because I'm a warlock and that's what we do. Just,
Bless up.
Yeah, so I'm gonna come...
Whoa! Hey!
It was all the talk of docking.
It's Spelljammer After Dark.
Daylight.
Shut your mouth.
So this is like a mast right here?
That's a mast.
Okay, so I'm gonna come out here,
Mm-hmm.
here, right up on this guy.
Okay.
And I'm gonna Eldritch Blast him.
Wait, you're the guy with the balloons or the other guys?
Oh, the guy with the balloons, I'm gonna murder him.